After the destruction of the Mad Gear Gang, Metro City slowly returned to normal. Cody and Jessica went on a vacation together, and Guy went back to his training schedule. Haggar also returned home and continued to rule Metro City as mayor, but secretly the Mad Gear Gang were regrouping. It's Final Fight 2. Now, the Mad Gear Gang are ready to strike back at those who opposed them. Their first move is to kidnap Guy's fiancée, Reina, and her father, Jin Ryusai. When Reina's sister, Maki, learns of this, she immediately contacted Haggar for help. Past tense, present tense, switching. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is okay. Hello, this is Mayor Mike Haggar. Mike, it's me, Maki. You have to help me. The Mad Gear Gang have kidnapped my father and sister. What? The Mad Gear Gang are back? But how? That doesn't matter, Tiki. I found out that the Mad Gear Gang are headed for Hong Kong. I'm going after them. The Mad Gear Gang must pay for their crimes. I'll meet you in Hong Kong. Okay, and here comes pissed off Mike Haggar. Just this guy and his ugly face, Carlos. I owe you and Guy so much. We've never met. Please let me go with you, Mike. I love kicking butts. Kicking, of course, that infamous contraction. Because it's kick and then in combined. So it's kick in butt. He loves to kick in people's butts. This is Final Fight 2. It's a favorite of mine. I love the brawler beat 'em up category. We're going to look at the options real quick. Once I figure out. Start. Got it. Normal's fine. We'll put this on A so we can do our spinneroonies and stuff, and it'll be great and fine and wonderful. All right, so we'll talk about the genre a bit in this game in general as we go, but let's just jump right in because it's a long game, and so we need to do it. So we have 3 characters to choose from. Unlike the first Final Fight, which is a complicated story that we'll get to in a bit, 2 of those characters aren't here. Guy and Cody are not around, so we have the 2 people that were in the intro, Maki, which of course is at least mentioned as the connection to our current people, and Carlos, who is just out of nowhere and has a sword that he does not use to decimate the Mad Gear Gang. We're going to play as Haggar until we die. We might not die, as in continue, and then if we do, we'll, switch it up. So pretty basic stuff here. You got punch combos. You can also grab people and do different things to them. Headbutts. A suplex. You can get a boombox, which really makes this game seem up to date. We also have jumps and jump attacks, a jump kick, this kind of scary thing where it goes like, rah! Suplexes are great, but of course it wouldn't be Haggar without the infamous spinning pile driver. It feels so good, breakfast is back. So the best thing to do is kind of combo these things together, get the most damage. A lot of these guys are going to die in one combo. It's the first stage. Now, the later game in the series, Final Fight 3, got a little bit fancier with what you could do. There were special moves and meters and like fireball commands. Usually did something for each character. Those guys are annoying because they grab you when you try to grab them, but they block if you try to punch them, so they're pretty much the worst. See that he's blocking, but they can't block the third hit of the combo, so it's fine. Common problem in beat-em-ups. Enemies go off-screen and they just hide out, wasting your time. Oh, he punched me this time. He's too good. We've taken a 3rd damage from the one dude. Okay, meat bun. Very important. Me and my dad played this game a lot when I was growing up, and we were dirty cheaters. We had turbo controllers, and with the 2 lighter characters, who basically aren't Haggar especially, you could do some pretty sick stuff with the turbo controllers. You could, like, punch 3 or 4 times but not do the finishing hit. The enemy would still be stunned, so you would just turn away, then turn back and keep punching, and you could kind of lock them in an infinite combo. It didn't work on everyone, especially bosses, but for regular run-of-the-mill Joe Schmoes, they really couldn't do much about it. No, don't you touch me. I'm Mike Haggar. I actually love Mike in the intro for any number of reasons. He's just pissed off and angry, which is great. He doesn't give a damn about what Carlos has to say. He's like, yeah, you can come along. I mean, I'm not going to deny the help, but don't talk to me. I don't know you. All the help I gave you? What are you talking about? And we don't open doors. We just bust them right open. Do you think Mike Haggar has time for doors in Hong Kong? Look, this is like a prison kitchen. I don't know. So about one of the only downsides of these earlier 2 games as opposed to Final Fight 3 is it can get a tiny bit monotonous. But that's why you kind of want to mix things up. That's why the headbutt into the spinning pile driver combo, or you can punch once, pick him up suplex. You can punch twice, actually. If you hold up or down at the end of those 2 punches, you can end up doing a suplex instead. It's great for clearing out people behind you, but you have to be close enough to grab. If I hold up and I'm at the tip of my fist when I'm punching people, it doesn't quite work. Tonfa. Mike Haggar knows. Yeah, he knows. This guy's a stick. He's out of here. That guy looks like he has purple eyes. I don't know how I feel about that. And we got an extra life for 100,000 points, so that's nice. We got 5 now. Shot. I think that's supposed to be Scott, but, you know, I guess it could be a hard CH. No one actually spells their name that way, but it's fine. They went back to the simpler names like Mark and Jack, where it was tough to misspell those. Final Fight 1 came out in the arcades. It was pretty popular back then. There weren't a lot of games like it in the arcades at the time. It was also super difficult. Like a lot of arcade games, its purpose seemed to be just to eat your quarters. And it did a damn good job of it. Weirdly enough, that game never came to Super Nintendo originally. Eventually, they started doing some weird versions of it, and they did a Game Boy Advance one, and it's a whole thing. But at the time, this was the best you could do on Super Nintendo. Oh, yeah. Elick, right? Yeah, Elick. Maybe that's supposed to be Eric. I don't know. Translation's hard. Whatever it is, he's got, like, cattle prod electrode things he just zaps you with like a bitch. So we kept him away. And now everyone's favorite, the barbecue. We're not going to eat it yet because it's full health, and we don't need that much health at all. We just have to be careful not to push it off the screen. Don't worry, he'll walk into my feet eventually. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. See that dodge? Boom. Gotta love the spinning pile driver. Especially because it's just jump with a direction and attack. I don't even know if you need the direction in this game, actually. Nope, just straight up. Just jump and then attack. Don't need any 360s or any of that nonsense. Another boombox. Lonely Island taught us that that was very dangerous. This is Haggar's weapon of choice, even though he doesn't actually get anything special for it. In 3, there is a certain type of weapon that each character prefers, and they get bonus stuff to it, like they can modify it with elements, like Dean gets to use electricity with the weapon that he likes, or they get multiple hit combos with it instead of just single hits. In this game, it's just whatever, but you know if Haggar had a weapon, it wouldn't be the Tonfa, it would probably be this 2x4. We're just going to keep swinging it. Atlas is off screen, but he's a jerk, and he can't block this, so he can just die. Oh, he's over there now. Oh, he's dodging. Oh, he's too good. He's got me figured out. No, he died. And here we have our first boss, Wan Wan. Not racist at all. Enjoy the 2x4, Wan Wan. We're mostly looking out for his jump attack, but luckily he's the first boss, and he's super easy, so we're not worried about it. If he does do it, we have a way to stop it. Well, that's one way. That's not really what I was talking about, that attack. But all we have to do is use our invincible attack, which is jump plus attack, or the A button that I set it to. You're invincible while it's up, and as an added bonus, it doesn't actually cost you any life to use as long as you don't actually connect with anything. And the boss is invincible while he's using his moves, so really it's just a way to dodge the damage. We'll probably abandon this 2x4 eventually, but not while there's other enemies on screen. And luckily in these games, though not all brawlers are this way, I can actually clear out the enemies. There's not an infinite number of them that they just keep spawning to keep me busy. So now I just focus on Wan Wan. I heard the jumping attack, so you know what? We'll show him a jumping attack. What do you say? No, you don't. You just don't get it, do you? You don't. Oh, no. And he's out of extra health bars, so this fight is coming to a conclusion. He was invincible for that first hit. Did you see that? Look at that. Look at this guy. Oh. He's getting tired of receiving the stick. Well, guess what? This is more painful than the stick is. Haggar, a former professional wrestler, does not care about the size of his opponent, and this should kill. Nope. All right, we got to end with the scary attack. No, Haggar, don't leave the 2x4. Take it. So the first game was kind of like a tour of Metro City. That's Haggar's home turf. I forgot I was supposed to narrate these. It's fine. The boss tells us where our kidnapped friends are. I don't know why. But the final fight for their lives is about to begin. There's the title. You can be excited about the title. So now we're just in France. Just doing France stuff. Don't follow me. Sir, I see. Sir. That's the other nice thing you can do, too. You can actually kind of punch to soften them up for a grab because they're still in hit stun. So I can punch him and then kind of use that time to get closer. And in that sense, I can do it kind of... It's not really a true combo, per se, but still, it lets me put together big damage. And that one string, punch, punch, grab, headbutt, headbutt, pile driver, or suplex, whatever I finished it with, is enough to kill him. That won't always be the case. As we get in the later levels, their life bars are going to get longer. But for now, it works great. You'll also notice I did this get me off attack, the lariat, and actually hit somebody with it. It took a little bit of damage, but if you're going to be eating damage from two sides, you can get hit up to 3 or 4 times, so you'd much rather take the one hit yourself from the lariat, do some damage, than just eat a bunch of attacks in a row. The first game was a lot worse about that stuff than this one is. You can get chained in this game and take some decent damage, but the first game, we're talking like half health. Because again, it was an arcade game, so it was meant to eat quarters without remorse. I wish the first game's characters were in this one, because this one's better in just about every way, but Guy and Cody were obviously much more important than Carlos, certainly, and Maki showed up in, Street Fighter Alpha 2 or 3, and one of the Capcom versus SNK games, the Mark of the Millennium one, I think. So at least she's been in a few things, and I actually wish... Oh, I forgot to break that. Whoops. I actually wish that she would be in more, because she's kind of cool. And again, she's actually connected to Guy. She's like his sister-in-law, so it's a whole thing. Whereas Carlos is just nobody, and we will not be playing as him. And if you're a Carlos fan, I'm sorry, but we're not going to be friends. He only uses the sword as his get me off attack. Get me off attack? Wow, that's not good. His get off me attack. And it costs him health. So he could slice these dudes in half, but he doesn't. He just chooses not to, I guess, because that's disrespectful as we punch our way through this fence. All right, another extra life for 300k, and we got some milk. You know I like that. One of the nice things about the grab moves that you've probably seen throughout this is it has the added benefit of kind of knocking down enemies around you. Both the impact of the move itself and the body that flies off from the recoil. Uh-oh. I saw the prongs. Nope. See, now he's in grab range, though, so now he's dead. All right, another fence down. Once again, progress is looking great. The arrow is in 1 kilometer, guys, so we have that going for us. If you need to know how to get to the aeroport, or what a kilometer is, because I have no idea. That's not true. I'm not going to be one of those Americans. Can we reach him? Yeah, we can. Those guys can be annoying because they get up quickly and they like to jump around, and obviously, Haggar especially does not have the mobility to deal with that very well. Oops. Tried to suplex there, and I missed it. And I just punched the air like a fool. We saw one of these before. I didn't have a chance to talk about him, but this is Andor. He is not Andre the Giant. No, sir. That would be copyright infringement. Plus, Andre's dead. No way that's Andre the Giant. There's different varieties of them. There's the regular one who's red. There's the G Andor, which I always called Grandpa Andor, even though he doesn't look any older. but all the Andors are like family to me. Maybe that's racist of me. I don't know. All right, we found the aeroport because there's an aeroplane. 2x4. I should have called that before I opened it. That would have been more impressive. Hope you're ready for the same animation because this guy's going to get... Oh, never mind. He showed me. Now he's going to get a spinning pile driver for his troubles. Nobody takes away Haggar's 2x4. Nobody! See, you're also invincible while you do throws, at least during the animation of it. So you want to use those when you're surrounded too. That's why that back suplex is handy. Not only can it protect you from hits from behind, but you can then clock the person that is behind you. Done. Oh, he punched me. Alright, now that they're all together. Drop kicks. He has the same looking drop kick in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, except he goes much higher with it because he can super jump. He can float for days looking like a pimp. And once he jumped in the air, unless I reacted really quickly with a lariat, I was kind of screwed there. Now I have to be careful because Robert's going to be out of jump range. Okay, he walked into it. Good. And finally, let's scare this fence down. Very good. Oh, we need inside that immediately. Get out of my way. I need this. Ah. Okay, it's fine. Got the food before the trade. Can't go dying. Then I have to play as Carlos or something. Ugh. Just kidding. It would be monkey, but it's fine. You've also probably noticed, if you don't already know about it from playing the game, that a lot of these enemies have different wake-up times. They take longer to get up or shorter to get up. Some of them move more quickly than others. Some of them have different attacks. So that's at least the nice thing. There's a lot of enemies here that it keeps the brawling somewhat fresh. Some of them are just palette swaps, like Mike and Jack and all them. There's two different, like this Atlas and Tony, the two burly guys who can't, like, ever get hit because they block all the time. But there's enough variety that it keeps it fresh. It's a beat 'em up, so some of this being a little familiar is to be expected, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. Look at this guy. He looks like me. Five Nights at Freddy's. Also, we got Guile in the background here. Look at him. Throwing out one-armed sonic booms. Or just punching a wall. But I like to think it's a sonic boom. Oh, charge attack. Oh, okay. You mess with the bull, you get the lariat. Man, you got Guile back there, and you got Duke Nukem. A very young Duke Nukem, back before he was tainted. Oh, this is bad. Okay, I got a little lucky there. The one enemy you... Oof. Yeah, as I said, it's a bad time for a grab. I needed to punch. Whoops. The one thing you'll notice about bosses in this series, and most beat-em-ups in general, is you don't want to be around their body when they stand up, because they usually have invincible moves on Wake Up, and they'll make you pay. Ow. God, Freddy. Oh, more dudes? Alright, we're going to come over here, get some space. Oof. Nope. Telegraph that too much, my friend. Too much. Come here, I need you to hit your friend. Nope. 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 He's going to charge at me. He's going to charge at me again. One more time for the road. End it with a lariat. Boom. I don't care if I have any health left. I'm alive. All right, well, we died once, but that's okay. Hey, look, it's the thing from Street Fighter. Now, I could go get Haggar's trusty 2x4 here, but I'd much rather just hit the car. Oh, no, I picked up the Tonfa. Oh, no. Oh, no. Can I switch it for this? Okay. At least that's better. Yeah. Yeah. I like to think this is Freddy's car. This is just for points. We did it in time, so we get a bonus. You can get extra lives with points, so it's not like it's meaningless, but I'm just more impressed by beating the hell out of Freddy's car. Like, oh, you dared to run into me? You think you're bigger than me? I'll show you. Smash his car. Kill him. You're probably like, what are those things on the ground? Well, I'll show you. They're landmines. Luckily, the computer doesn't seem to know what they are, so we'll just let them walk into them. We don't want any part of that. Ow. Check out those crows, too. Damn. Uh-oh. Thought I was going to get hit after the suplex. Ow. What a jerk. I called him Tony. It's Joni. Or Johnny, of course, but, you know. Translation is hard. It was the 90s. Nothing was spelled correctly. Ugh. Robert. Robert, nobody likes that dude. Yeah. Whoa. Johnny. Get out of here, Johnny. Oh. Let's calm down. In this part, we just stand up here. Because if you stand in between the two middle ones, the blast radius will actually still hit you. Silly. So we kind of just use these as bait, because they'll come up here trying to get to me. And they'll explode instead, and he died miserably. Oh, be careful. Ta! Loser. We got another Andor coming, too. Yep. Not this time. Come on up here, it's fun. I was just kidding, it's not fun. I lied to you about that. The Andors are probably the toughest regular enemy. They had that run-in chest bump attack, though it doesn't have that much in the way of a hitbox in this game. You can pretty much interrupt it with any punch. Scott was trying to come up behind me and uppercut me there, but I knew better. Uppercut! Gotta tuck those knees in when you jump, that's how you get the height. But then you straighten them out on the landing. You don't wanna bend your knees to land. What are you, some kind of gymnast? Oh. We gotta wait for Atlas now. Come on, buddy. So it's heavily implied that by the time this game comes out, Cody's in jail. Of course, the jail can't ever hold Cody. He just keeps breaking out and fighting in his jail uniform. We don't know what Guy's doing at this time. He's just off studying Bushin or something. I don't know. You'd think with his fiance being involved that he'd be a little more engaged in this, but it's fine. We're going to keep jump kicking because we don't want them flipping onto the screen here. Oh, there's Grandpa Andor. I saw him. Well, I saw his life bar. Now I saw him. Oh! Boom. And this combo will finish him. I messed up and thought that third punch was going to connect, and I didn't get it out. My Xbox controller doesn't seem to like the punch button very much. Oops. Picked up the weapon and took an uppercut for it. I didn't even want it. Elliot. Oh yeah, Andor Jr. That's why it's a family. See, there's the regular Andor. And then there's Andor Jr., like Nick Jr. And there's Grandpa Andor. Whoa, okay. I hope you saw what I just saw where I was invisible. And when I came to, I was holding a dude. That didn't hurt very much, though. I died in a spot I shouldn't have. I should have been ready to Lariotto. The Super Nintendo might have been the best system ever for these particular games. You had the two final fights, although the first one never really made it. Great. Nothing I can do about that. Nope. You had Streets of Rage, I think? Or is that Sega only? I don't even remember how good it was. But there's a lot of lesser-known stuff like Brawl Brothers and some other weird games that were still pretty fun. Now this genre is pretty much dead. That's not to say the games don't exist anymore, but they're not a big deal. You still see some of them, like the Scott Pilgrim video game is pretty much this. No life bars for the enemies, but it's very close. It's spiritually similar. Even like Castle Crashers, although that had more RPG elements to it, kind of similar. Lots of enemies on screen. You fight them alone or as a group. Giant watch. Get out of here, Grandpa. Nope. Nope. Alright, we're going to let him get on screen, otherwise it's going to take forever. Nope. Nope, I hate that. Sometimes they just punch you when you're going to grab them, and you don't really know what's going to happen. Stupid Atlas. I see you behind me, Jack. You're not going to uppercut me. It's what you like to do. You sneak up behind and you uppercut. Well, take a punch to the chest. Now, your guess is as good as mine as to what the hell this boss that's coming up is. His name is incomprehensible. His look is incomprehensible. He looks like a zombie. Oh, I really thought that was going to hit somebody. Didn't land on anyone. Ah, Joe. He's carrying that fire. He also dies in one hit. I walked into the fire because I was trying to punch it like a badass. Now I'm invisible. I don't know where I am. I grab somebody else. He becomes invisible. This is also one of the few beat-em-ups where when you come back to life, you don't just knock everybody down inexplicably. Bratken! Bratken? Bratken. Ow, he punched me. I made the mistake. I went near him when he was getting up. See what happened? Even though I had a decently high priority move out with the jump kick, he still just punched me. Gotta give him time to get up. They don't like being crowded. Oh. Oh. Couldn't turn the right way. It's fine. Get away from me. I gotta kill these little dudes so they won't bother me. Then you and I can have our showdown. Bratken. Alright. There'll probably be one more wave yet. Yeah. Oh, it's another Johnny, too. Great. Nope. That wasn't even close to me. What are you doing, Bratken? Making yourself look foolish. Nope, gotta go. There we go, scared him. Alright, no more enemies now? Can I focus on the Bratken? Okay. He's just standing there. It's important to spinning pile drive the bosses. Like, it's just a thing you have to do. You can suplex them too, but I mean, you have to get a spinning pile driver in there. It's just the way of the world. We'll see if we can end him with one, but I don't want to die. Well, I think that jump kick would have killed me, so I didn't have much of a choice. England, the first stage where I think things start to pick up, you're going to see the health bars increase quite a bit. But if you come down here, there's an extra life. It's called a Guy, and it looks like Guy, as if you want a reminder of, hey, he's not in this game. I think that regular dude has a pretty good-sized health bar. Elliot's almost as long as mine. Ow. He hit me with a stick. Got an extra life, though. We're up to 7. We're going to start curving out here eventually. It's going to get a little bit more difficult, and we're going to start losing lives because they start spacing out the points you need to get more. Ow. But for now, 7 looks pretty good. It is possible that we beat this without continues. I don't know. I haven't played this game in a few years, so... There's been a couple spots where I'm like, yeah, I should have known better than doing that or this, and it's just rust. Even Robert, who's not supposed to have much health, has a decent-sized health bar. Elliot gets up so fast, he just wants to get grabbed again. You can just kind of chain grab him to death if you're quick enough. It's tougher with other enemies around, though. Boom. A chocolate bar. Bar. That green health on a regular enemy. That's a boss move. They're supposed to have the multiple health bars. But them and the Andors now, as you can see he's got one, are just going to have a ton of health. Oh. In that case, I didn't mind taking the damage. It was actually less than Lariating would have been in. Lariating? That's a weird word. I could have hit him instead, too, so it was kind of a better trade, but I didn't really care. Well, guess I shouldn't have used the scary attack. I tried to get cute, and he chest bumped me for my trouble. Like El Fuerte. Stupid quesadilla bomb. Oh, I did it again. It's like I'm a glutton for punishment. Oh well, he's dead. Get suplexed. Alright. So it's the R&B Circus, which I'm assuming combines the best elements of music and elephants. And Haggar's like, hell yeah, I'm getting on that train. I want to go to the R&B Circus. This is sort of neat. I mean, you kind of take it for granted, especially now. It's, you know, more than 20 years ago this game came out. But the screen kind of shakes a little bit because you're on a train. It's going over the rickety rails. The background's moving constantly because you're on a moving platform. You know, it's good. It's a neat little stage design. Some people probably don't even ever notice it because they're too busy just busting people in the face. But you know what? I notice it, game designer. Easy peasy. I just love doing this because it looks like he's trying to scare people. And it works. They fall over. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a diving body press tackle thing, but I just like to think he's scaring them to death. Rawr. No Elic. No Andor. I've seen these moves before. Nope. Nope. Get wrecked. Whoa, that was kind of weird. It's fine. Elias just wanted death. Meanwhile, Bull sneaks up from the back. He has no idea what he just got himself into. Uh-oh. They're in a weird place. I gotta run away. Andor's dead, though, so that's nice. You! There's no items up here, so gonna have to be very careful with our health. Excuse me. Because we can't even get breathed on right now. Lots of jump kicks. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yes. I was already mid-combo with that. I don't know what I could have done there. That's the one thing you have to watch out for. Even when you kill them, they drop that thing on their death. So it's nice to suplex them or throw them away. You can punch the thing. I haven't shown that off yet. I wasn't going to before because I'm just going to die.